What's up, spectators? Welcome back to the episode of Chaos Child. Last time we were hanging out in the cafeteria when the boys started to practice telekinesis by lifting girls' skirts, so that's what we were doing. And we're right in the middle of that. We're continuing on with the weird fantasies of the guys, and don't mind the doodle sound. That's still my controller acting up on my computer, and it's being disconnected and connected over and over again. Sadly, my PlayStation controller and both Xbox controllers do the same thing. So it could be the crappy USB ports I have. It could also be all the crappy controllers I have. I haven't purchased a new one in a long time, and the cables are worn out. All right, enough of that. I remembered saying, if the girl's showing you her underwear, of course, she's up for it, but all the girls were wearing different kinds of underwear. I believe this is regarding, what's her name? Starts with an A. Her white underwear, I can't remember her name. After taking a moment to appreciate, from an academic standpoint, the variety of underwear on offer, I started trying to guess what kind of underwear Sarika would pick, or maybe Karusu. Oh. Hey, I was way off. No, don't be stupid. But the more I tried to stop it, the stronger the strange vision became. And suddenly I heard the sound of my destruction. There was a small rustling sound as Arimura's skirt... Arimura. I was thinking of her last name. Slowly but surely and steadily started to rise. It went up past her knee socks and then higher and higher. Wow, they're really taking the time on this one. Oh, she's Arimura. I'm sorry, I was thinking of someone else. Arimura stood there for a moment, in shock, and then realized what was going on and grabbed her skirt from above. Kurusu and Kazuki were looking at her with eyes wide open. Yeah, I'm gonna stop saving these because it seems like if they're just gonna keep doing them consecutively, I can just load back to the first one, so. This wasn't good. Sarika would probably laugh and forgive me. Actually, she might not even realize what had happened. But I wouldn't be that lucky with Arimura. Any second now, she was gonna realize it was because of my power. I gulped. The Empress, now fully recovered, was standing next to her. If she figured out what I'd done, who knew what would happen? Yeah, it was the wind. It was the wind's fault, not mine. Sick, dirty wind. So I didn't do anything, and it's not my fault. Ah! And that's my only hope. I quickly tried to come up with a new delusion, and then transmitted it into everyone's brain. Z, plural. Yes. I used my power to softly open a nearby window, and nobody noticed. It worked. It was as if it had been open the whole time. All that was left for the wind to blow through the window, and I should be able to fool them. Come to think of it, this power of mine is amazing. Look how good he's getting once he sets his mind to perverse things. A soft breeze, just strong enough to barely move your hair, rubbed against my cheek. The wind was weak. It was super weak. There's so many. No one else's skirt, neither Karusu's nor Kazuki's nor Sarika's, was moving at all. Arimura alone had turned beet red, grabbed the hem, and started looking frantically around. The gap between her behavior and how she normally acted was cute enough that I couldn't help but stare. Wait, no. There was no physical reason for Arimura's uniform to be the only one to rise up. This wasn't gonna fool them at all. Could my power maybe cause air to convect? If it could, there was still hope. I could just create the wind. I came up with a new delusion and hit everyone around me with it. Imagine a strong wind blowing. Imagine the air moving violently, creating a gust of wind. Could be worse, I guess, knowing this game. And then, suddenly, Kurusu's skirt flew up as well.
よし、いった。
女帝がまさかのピンクストライプ。
クルスにこんな可愛い趣味があったなんて。
Oh, okay, so everyone gets a little drawing, okay. Now it was Kazuki's turn. Hem of her skirt suddenly flew up.
つまで演習のキャラグッズかよ。
もう少しおしゃれに気を使え。
Oh my. Oh, okay. At first I was like, oh, I guess it's not so bad. But no, they drew about 1 million of these. I think someone's job was purely to draw these. Yes, a success.
驚いたな。なんてすごい風だ。
I ran my fingers through my hair and whispered to myself. I was worried there for a moment, but I just barely managed to.
Huh?
Another soft breeze, just enough to tickle your eyebrows, brushed my cheek. Why is the wind so weak? It's too weak! But I could see the girls' white thighs in front of me and a more tantalizing sight above them.
そうじゃない。僕はスカートをめくりたいわけじゃなくて。
You know, stuff like this is why I can't recommend people that I know to watch my content. I go, well, Japan, they're adult-oriented. And this is why no one gets to see my content. This is why none of them or their children are allowed to see my stuff, okay? This is why. Cultural norms. I screamed at my power to stop. I agree. Yes, the wind is pretty perverted right now. No, it's definitely not the wind. Yep, I'd be skeptical too. The girls were clearly suspicious and were holding down their skirts with both hands. Wondering how this Marilyn Monroe situation is happening when wind is defying physics. Don't you think they're gonna catch you? Ito stood up from the bench and started to move backwards, afraid. Specifically afraid of Kurusu. And to make matters worse, one of the groups of girls that had been talking in the cafeteria was starting to move closer to us. Do you remember when I used to do Layton and Ace Attorney, and I was family friendly, and I could recommend myself without worry? Those were the days. They'd probably run out of things to talk about and decided to go home, and now they were looking at us in shock. They might think that the girls were lifting up their skirts to show us. If that happened, the whole school might think the newspaper club were a bunch of perverts.
どうする？もう一回やってみるか。
As I hesitated, I could hear the group of girls start to whisper.
何今の？なんかおかしくね？つーかさ、あれ生徒会長？やだ。
Wow, I could really hear them very easily from across the room.
どうしたんだろうね。
Are they drunk? Why do they sound like that? Wow, what's going on?
やってやる。
Oh my god, don't. Is your strategy to raise their skirts? Oh my god. Yeah. I just need to win the blow the way I want it. If the wind blows up their skirts, I can fix this misunderstanding. I can avoid any weird rumors. You know that, right? I'm just gonna check. Don't just lift up the skirts because I want to see their underwear. Wind blows, skirts fly up. Don't get the order mixed up. With an explosion of mental force, I sent the vision from my brain to the others. That did it. Finally. A gust of wind blew through the open window. The girl's hair started to fly up.
ダメか。
But the wind still wasn't strong enough. It wasn't enough to blow up their skirts. Then he focused really hard and created a typhoon that engulfs the building and the school, killing everybody. All because of a boy's perverted delusions. That's the only acceptable ending I will now take. I'll add my power to the strength of the wind. Now those girls' skirts flew up just like Kurusu and the others had.
何こうだ。くらえもう一つ。
Oh man, this guy. He needs to go to psychic jail. He's so determined though. For some reason, the sound was different with the last girl.
今の風何？だよ、窓開けっぱなしじゃん。つーかなんかあいつに見られたし。
The girls quickly pressed down on their skirts.
最悪。今日のパンツいけてないのに。そういう問題じゃないよ。
いいえ、僕見てないです。風にびっくりしていて。
As I whispered excuses, I saw the girl in the back fidgeting. Wasn't that the girl who made a slightly different sound?
どうした？なんか急にね。裏のホックが外れた。
何を？
The hook on her bra? What the hell kind of wind is that? What's wrong with my power? It's not the power, man. It's you. I mean, I did kind of think she had big boobs, but just a little. Oh, my lord. Yes. You may kill him now. I suddenly felt a murderous energy. Tank, no! This is my water! You have water downstairs. What are you doing? Let's see here. And my eyes locked with Karusu, who was looking down upon me with her arms crossed. Arimura and Kazuki had their arms crossed too, and the same cold expressions on their face. Sarika was the only one who didn't seem to know what had happened. She was looking between me and the others, confused.
Ito! Oi, Ito!
I turned around in search of my best friend, but there was no one there. Instead, I could see a single shadow outside the window, racing away towards the setting sun.
Ito!
30 minutes later.
どうもすみませんでした。
Ito was kneeling on the floor, surrounded by the girls. After 30 minutes of a newspaper club inquisition, it was decided that Ito was at fault. I'd done some things that weren't very good either, but in the end I'd managed to make them understand that they were mistakes.
本当にもう二度とこんなことしちゃダメよ、伊藤くん。
深く反省しました。もう絶対にいたしません。
Ito bowed so low his face touched the floor. That's right. That's right. Get madder. That's what you get for putting me through that.
だいたいタクルを変な風に乗せないで。おだてられるとすぐこういうことしちゃうのよ、お調子者だから。そうですよ。宮代先輩って真面目そうな顔して実はエロ妄想全開ですし。エッチな本とか結構隠してるもんね。タクル、それ本当？そういうの感心しないって言わなかった？
違う、おのえの誤解だ。僕はそんな本ってなんでいつの間にか僕が責められてるんだよ。お前もそんな目で見るな。
とにかくいい二人とも。以後絶対に能力をおかしなことに使わない、使わせない、約束よ。
了解しました。
いやだから僕は最初からそんなつもりじゃなかった。
約束よ。
はい。
Ito bowed low on the floor again, and I did too. The medical examiner system. Tips list. A legal system that allows for a coroner as well as a doctor who has been given permission by the area's governor to dissect a body that died under suspicious circumstances. Okay. The system allows for an exam or an autopsy to determine the cause of death. The work of the medical examiner is done as follows. In the event of an unusual death, the forensic officer first conducts an examination, which is followed by a post-mortem from the medical examiner. If the cause of death can be determined, the body is then turned over to the family. If the post-mortem examination fails to determine the cause of death, only then does the examiner conduct an autopsy. And if it's judged that a crime was involved, a further more expansive judicial autopsy is conducted. But such an autopsy has already been performed on Watabe Tomooka. E. It was extremely unusual for a second autopsy, like this one, to be performed.
どうだ
Shinju averted his eyes from the coroner's knife. He'd been to many judicial autopsies, but it was something he'd never gotten used to. He probably never would, he thought. As for the person standing next to the coroner, she was staring at the open skull without the slightest trace of disgust.
やはり肥大化の傾向が見られるな。
肥大化というと脳が
この状況で他に何がある？解凍された頭を見て内臓の肥大がわかるとでも言うのか？
Shinju's shoulders slumped a little. When he'd first met her, he'd be unsure how to handle her, but now he actually felt kind of worried for her. Didn't that get tiring after a while?
さっき聞いた話じゃ死因は間違いなく窒息死ということだったが
窒息だけでこんな風にはならない。
ってことはこれまでの被害者と同じってわけか。脳の肥大の原因については
何しろ検体が少なすぎる。果たしてこの症状が一連の被害者だけに見られるのか
わからないか。
知る方法ならあるにはあるがな。
何？
あの二人宮代拓と有村ひなえの頭を開いて調べればいい。そうすればこれがギガロマニアックスに共通する症状なのかどうかわかるだろう。
バカなことを言うなよ。そんなことできるわけがないだろ
う。冗談だ。今は CT や MRI があるんだ。わざわざ脳をむき出しにする必要もない。なんだ。私が冗談を言うのがそんなに意外か？
いや。
Shiju thought to himself that she probably wasn't joking. She didn't like gigalomaniacs. She hated them. And from the bottom of her heart, he didn't know why she despised them so much. She's just a bigot. Of course, there was probably a good reason for it, but he wished she would tone it down a bit. They probably didn't become gigalomaniacs by choice, and more than anything, he didn't want to lose their help with the case. I mean, it's a detective who has access to an actual lie detector, so... If there were still test subjects under the hospital, there were things the police could do. But when he'd gone down there wasn't a trace of anything left.
証拠ならあるだろ。
Kunosato's voice was cold as ever.
証拠？
何のためにあの娘を連れ出したと思ってるんだ。知ってることを全部吐かせろ。
おいおい、相手は子供だぞ。
子供じゃない。危険なギガロマニアックスだ。
Shinjo rubbed his temples, unsure of what to say. Trustworthiness Investigation Corporation, Frisia. Momose Katsuko sat in a reception room in a messy corner of her office and sighed as she ran her hand through her hair.
返してください。私を返してください。
No matter how many questions she asked, or how she tried to get her to talk, that was the only answer she would get. Sometimes she'd try asking if there was anything she wanted, or if she felt like eating anything. But the answer was always the same.
お願いです。返してください。
She hadn't made even the tiniest bit of progress since the girl had arrived. Even the endlessly patient Momose would want to sigh after all that. She still didn't know where this Yamazoe Uki girl was from, or how she ended up at the hospital. But from what she'd seen, there was a chance she'd endured significant abuse. And then she was suddenly rescued from it, and taken to a completely different environment. So she must have been very confused. This is a lot of speculation, based on what evidence? She knew from experience that victims like that needed to be treated very carefully.
私が早く帰らないと皆さんが困ってしまうんです。
She kept repeating the same lines, like a broken audio player. Momose was starting to think it was time for a different approach. She didn't know what would happen if she told the girl this, so she kept it a secret until now.
ちゃんと話して現実を認識させてあげた方がいいかもしれない。
Just go,
お願いです。
they're dead!
私はあそこへ戻らないといけないんです。
しょうがない。話してみようか。
Once she made a decision, she didn't spend any time on second thoughts. This was both an advantage and a disadvantage.
あのね、ゆきちゃん。
はい。
そこまで帰りたいというのなら教えてあげるわ。
返してくれるんですね。ありがとうございます。
聞いて。あなたがどれだけ帰りたいと望んでも
無理。
だってあなたがいたあの場所、病院の地下にあったあの場所はもうなくなってしまったんだから。
Mimosa was relieved to finally see shock on Uki's face.
よかった。この子にはちゃんと普通の感情がある。
Except she probably has powers, so this could be dangerous? Like Kunosato had said, they hadn't done any operations on her that would destroy her ability to experience emotions.
この前ね、あなたがここへ来てからすぐに刑事、若いくせにくたびれた刑事いたでしょ。彼が例の病院へ行ってみたんですって。
The girl simply listened to Mimose speak, her eyes wide. Mimose kept talking, watching her carefully.
それでね、解剖室から地下へ行ったそうよ。あなたのいた場所へね。でもね、そこには何もなかったって。あなたがいた部屋の中も空っぽだったそうよ。
そんな、じゃあ皆さんは、あそこにいた皆さんはい
なかったそうよ。誰も。
誰も。
Yuki seemed to be trying her best to understand what Mimose just said. And then...
嘘です。
そんな嘘ついて何になるの。本当のことよ。
だってそれじゃあ私はどうすれば。私はどうすれば。
Tears started to silently fall from Uki's eyes. Well, because we're transitioning, this is going to be probably the best place for me to end this video at about 23 minutes. So, stay tuned for the next episode, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye!